Hello, hello, hello. So, freshman year, my ex basically told everyone in my school that I had a gun. So, okay, so let me start from beginning, all right? Freshman year, I start talking to this girl. We're gonna call her Thorn, all right? We'll call her Thorn. She was a thorn in my ass, so might as well. So, I had known her since around sixth grade. We had the same English class. We were just kind of acquaintances. I knew of her existence. She knew of mine. That was really it. But freshman year, we start like clicking. Me and her are talking every day. She's coming over to where I sit at my group of friends, and we click. We're good friends. I find out that she's only like a 10-minute walk away. There's a park like right in between our houses. So it's a perfect spot to go meet up at. And we start meeting up, and she's cool. She's generally a cool person to hang out with. But I'm noticing every time she comes over to the table, my friends are giving her a weird look. So one day, I'm walking to science with my friend, Nolan, all right? And I asked him straight up, what do you think of Thorn, He doesn't sugarcoat it at all. He tells me, all right, everyone at the group does not like her. They find her annoying, that she inserts herself into the group, and that Nolan says he can tolerate her, but the others, they cannot. They don't blame me at all because they know that I'm not the one inviting her over. She's just kind of clinging on to me. But I feel responsible for this. So I probably should have told her something. That'd be the smart thing to do. Tell her, hey, don't come over to my table as much. I'm trying to spend time with my amigos. But I did not because I don't want to be a dick. I don't want to be mean. That's like, hey, stop coming over. We don't like you. I would cry if that happened to me. Like, no. So I don't do that. And at this point, I never even saw Thorn as like girlfriend material. She was just twin, like she was cool to talk to. That was it. And then one night, I get the message, you want to be my boyfriend? Looking back, I should have said no. Right away, I should have said no. Like, my friends didn't like her. She was constantly getting in trouble at school. Academically, we weren't on the same level. Like, I was always a A's and B's type of kid. She couldn't even crack that. But I said yes. And that's not because I wanted to, but because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. I was a gentle soul back then. I had a heart, and I didn't know how to say no back then. But then later that year, a new student transfers in. We'll call him Six, all right? You'd get it if you knew the context behind his name, but we'll call him Six. He gets put into my math and science classes. And he's a cool guy, all right? He's funny, he's laid back. We become friends, and so does Thorn. So now the group consists of a couple people, all right? It's not just me and Thorn, all right? It's me, my friend Arya, Thorn, Thorn's friend Miley, and Six. And this was like a smaller group within the big group, all right? Everyone in the big group still did not like Thorn at all, all right? Nolan still did not fuck with her. So they'd openly talk shit about her to me, all right? They talk shit about her to me when like she wasn't around, and I allowed it. They'd be like, hey, downtown, can I talk shit real quick? And I'd say, sure, whatever. And they'd do it because I didn't like her like that. I thought she was a cool friend. That was it. But as a girlfriend, no. I don't know why I said yes, and to this day, I regret saying yes. Moving on, all right. Eventually, I'm just not happy, all right. She was a great friend, but just not my type as a girlfriend. And this was actually my first girlfriend, so I basically wasted it. But there were red flags I had ignored, all right? And Ari warned me too about Thorn and Six being really close. Very, very close. To this day, I'm not sure if there's anything between them, but they were very, very close. And I noticed it. I didn't think too much about it, but Arya noticed it, and he was telling me, "Hey, she's probably cheating." But I didn't look too far into it. But my mom also caught us holding hands. Like I'd been hiding this relationship from her for a long time, just because I knew she would not like Thorn. Thorn was everything my mom told me to never date, and I still dated her. But I hid it from my mom. She eventually caught me when she came to pick me up from school holding hands with her. So my mom wasn't too happy, and she was definitely a reason why I broke up with her. Uh, I just knew it wasn't right. All right, it wasn't right for me to be dating a person who truly loved me, yet I didn't love them back. That wasn't fair to that person, and I that is a regret I still continue to have to this day. I mean, I don't think about it as much as I did back then, but it is still a regret. All right. So you break up, and in person too. All right. I'm not that type of person to do a breakup through text. If I have to, I will, but I will always prefer doing it in person, face to face. It just feels more like respectful, I guess. And she told me too that like she had respect me for that. Like shortly after we broke up, she texted me asking for a little bit more, like I guess, closure, and she told me that she respected me for breaking up with her in person. So I thought that was the end, and it wasn't, because things get ugly. After the breakup, everyone starts talking shit about me to basically everyone. All right, and I'm that type of person where if you're gonna talk shit about me, I'm allowed to talk shit back. So I do. All right, we start openly just talking shit about each other. And I mean, I'm chill with that, all right? As long as no one's getting hurt, you know? She even started dating an eighth grader while we were freshmen. I, I don't know, bro. I don't know. All right, but there's a twist to this, all right? I stayed friends with Six even after this breakup, all right? And I had really thought Six would just not talk to me at all anymore. Mainly because of the fact that he was more close to Thorn than to me. We were still friends, but I always knew in that hierarchy for him, Thorn would be a little bit higher. But we stayed friends, and he was still a cool guy. And I became really close friends with Miley, Thorn's friend. Basically, best friend at that point. Miley actually stopped talking to Thorn entirely because Thorn kept telling her to stop talking to me. So she made a choice, and she chose to just be friends with me. So yeah, and then she's a friend I still continue to have to this day. So from there, it was just open beef, all right? If she talked about me, I talk shit back. Simple. But one day, I try to talk to Six. He avoids me. I'm confused. And then later on the way to math, he yells something about how they're gonna Michael Will me. For context, Michael Will was a kid who had like a list of people he wanted to like kill in a school shooting. So I don't know. I'm kind of confused. I don't think I made a list like that last time I checked. And then Arya tells me that they're telling people that I have a gun, that I want to bring it to school, and that everyone should cut ties with me. Let's be 100% clear about this, all right? I do not own a gun. There was no gun in my house. These accusations came out of nowhere. And they came from who else but Thorn. I almost said Quagmire, but yeah, Thorn. But it blows over that day. I go home and I expect nothing to really happen, all right? It's just accusations that hold no ground, that like almost nobody believes. I asked people and they told me they didn't believe it. So the next morning, I'm in my usual spot by the bike racks with my friends. Then the principal shows up. with a security guard. They take my backpack, they escort me to the office. A sheriff searches my bag and me. Nothing. And they're confused because someone clearly lied. They question me, ask about Thorn, ask about a near fight I almost been in. That's a story for a different day. Then they bring Thorn in. She breaks down crying, admits she made it up, says that she didn't feel safe around me, which, by the way, I never threatened her at all. I avoided her on purpose. All we did was openly say we didn't like each other. That was it. She painted me as like a stalker, and I did everything to keep distance away, you know? And after, a bunch of like me being interviewed, trying to figure out, what's going on, they sent me back to class. And oh, I felt like OJ Simpson beating the case when I walked into that class. I felt so good about myself. All right, because everyone asked what happened, and I told them the truth. They knew I was innocent. I did have to eat at lunch during the. Excuse me. I did have to eat in the office during lunch. I'm not gonna cut that out. Screw it. But honestly, it was worth it. All right, because that's how I beat my first false accusation, bro. First one, and it was an amazing feeling. Oh my god, it felt so great. And yeah, there was definitely more stuff after that. More stuff also including this same girl during that same year. Next year, she kind of just left me alone, which I was very thankful for. But during that year, there's definitely some more lore I could definitely tell. But you know, I'll tell those stories eventually. This is a new channel, my second video. My first one, I'm very, very, very proud of. It was very nice to get that all off my chest, and I'm also gonna use this as a channel just to tell random stories that come to my mind that I remember, and this is one of them. So yeah, but that's it basically. So I'll see y'all later.